Again, an important question. What are the problems in the securitization? Certain problems are like this. One is the stamp duty. Second is the standardization procedure. Third is income tax. Then fourth is like the marketability of the security and so on. As far as the stamp duty is concerned, that is considered to be one of the biggest hurdle of securitization. So over here, stamp duty, income tax, accounting, lack of standardization, inadequate debt market, inefficient foreclosure laws. Let us have discussion of the head points. The stamp duty is required to be paid, and because of that, say this entire process is becoming very expensive. This stamp duty is required to be paid at the time of transfer of the assets. As far as the income tax is concerned, for that, so there is yet not clarity regarding the taxability issue. Accounting, for that, so again there is no standardization. Even for the procedure of the entire securitization, there is yet not any standardization. This is very important according to me. Inadequate debt market. What happens, let's say as an investor, I don't have any issue in making investment in equity shares of a company. Why? Because the equity shares of the company is very simple for anybody to understand. I can understand it's a company is formed under Companies Act 1956. I can understand that say this company is doing some kind of business. Whatever the earning that it has, from that say certain payments are made in form of equity dividend. What will be my responsibility? What are my rights? Everything is clear. But such kind of clarity is not there. Say in case of the these kind of securities. So these securities are not having say the good marketability. If at all I have made investment, then in that case it is very difficult for me to sell this investment in the secondary market. And this is also which is very important in case of the non-repayment of the loan, the foreclosure laws are not so effective, so that as an investor, that is as a mutual fund, as a like pensioner funds, I have a security that I will receive back the amount, say for which there is no repayment of the loan. If at all any housing property is there for which say the EMI is not paid by the borrower, then whatever the auction which should take place for that house property, whatever the amount to be recovered, say those laws are not say so effective that I have an assurance so to get back my funds. Stamp duty is one of the obstacle in India under the Transfers of the Property Act, Transfer of Property Act 1882, a mortgage debt stamp duty which even goes up to 12 percentage in some states of India, and this impeded the growth of the securitization in India. It should be noted that since pass-through certificate does not evidence any debt, only able to receivable, they are exempted from the stamp duty. Moreover, in India, recognizing the special nature of the securitized instrument in some states has reduced the stamp duty on them, but not all. Taxation, in absence of any specific provision, this is important. No specific provision relating to the securitization instrument in Income Tax Act, experts' opinion differ a lot. Some are of the opinion that special purpose vehicle as a trustee liable to be taxed in the representative capacity, then others are of the view that instead of special purpose vehicle, investors will be taxed on their share of the income. Clarity about the whole taxation applicability on the securitization transaction is not available in the current tax regime, which creates huge tax implication or evasion of the tax, including capital gain tax. Accounting. In accounting and the reporting of the securitized asset in the books of originator is another area of the concern. Although the securitization is stated as an off-balance sheet instrument, but in true sense, the receivables are removed from the originator balance sheet. This is important once again. Every originator follows own format of the documentation and administration. Have lack of standardization is another obstacle of the growth in securitization. The lack of standardization reduces the ability to compare the data in the convenient manner, thus increases the workload of the parties and credit enhancers. Inadequate debt market. So this is what we have to view from the liquidity point of view. Lack of an existence of well-developed debt market in India is another obstacle that hinders the growth of the secondary market in the securitized or asset-based securities. So they are focusing on the secondary market. We know that so the National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange are the secondary market. As there is no mechanized channel to execute the securitization transaction in an effective manner. Ineffective foreclosure laws. For last many years, there are efforts going on for effective foreclosure, but still foreclosure laws are not supportive to lending institutions, and this makes securitized instruments, especially mortgage-backed securities, less attractive as lenders because basically the investors face difficulty in transfer of the property in the event of default by the borrower. This is the way, so these are the, we understand that say the problems in securitization.